Hey, welcome to Wise Up, a walk through the book of Proverbs. We're in day 7, which is Proverbs chapter 7. And so this chapter, unlike most of the book of Proverbs, is actually more in story form. Now, Proverbs is a collection of wisdom and wise sayings, and so some of them at times feel incongruent because it's just a collection of statements to help you learn how to use wisdom to be your guide, to make well-informed decisions. And what we're talking about here, wisdom defined, is the appropriate application of information. Now, Proverbs 7, Solomon tells a story as if he's a man looking out a window up high in a building and then sees a young person who's foolish, who's walking down on the road. And the whole chapter is just incredible. But I want to key in on a few verses here, starting in verse 6 of Proverbs 7. Solomon says, "I was looking out the window of my house one day and saw a simple-minded young man who lacked common sense," also known as a fool. "He was crossing the street near the house of an immoral woman. He was strolling down the path by her house at twilight as the day was fading, as the dark of night set in. The woman approached him, dressed seductively and sly of heart. She was the brash, rebellious type who never stays at home. She is often seen in the streets and markets soliciting at every corner." And so he goes on and he says there's several things that happened here. Verse 21, it says, "So she seduced him with her pretty speech, with her flattery she enticed him." And I thought, boy, how true is that, to be so careful of what we take in and what we listen to and what we believe about what we hear. Because the reality is that there's many things we're going to encounter in life, and people, scenarios, situations, opportunities, sometimes right, wrong, and different. And we have to be very, very careful about what we take in and what we believe about what we hear. And so it says that Solomon's saying, like, he's up high, so he has a higher vantage point. Here's this guy down low, and so he has the perspective of wisdom and years. And so it's a good thing for us to take this information. What does somebody say about a situation? What have we heard? Who have we talked to get wise counsel? And what does God's word say to us if we're a Christ follower? And to apply that appropriately and help us learn how to be wise. Because the ultimate deal here was that this young man ended up making poor choice after poor choice. It didn't start where he ended. The ending was the totality of all of those decisions all along the way. And so we all know this, that a sports team wins a game by several steps in the right direction. And in life, it's the same way. We win in life, or we win in a scenario in life, by making several right choices that move us in the right direction. There's Andy Stanley's a pastor, and he says what's called the principle of the path. And he says it's direction, not intention, that determines your destination. It's the direction that you're pointed, not the intention that you have, that determines your destination. To think about it like this: if the post office is south of me and I get my mail, I get in my car, I buckle my seatbelt, all the normal, responsible, boring adult things, I get in the car and I'm ready, and the post office is south of me, and I get out on the main road and I go north. Now, here's the problem. It doesn't matter what my intention was, what my desire was, what my goal was. It's the direction that I went. And see, in life, we have decisions, we have information that we face, we have lots that we have to decide. And the reality is that we don't end up somewhere other than where we are pointed. And we don't go somewhere on just the flip of a switch or a push of a button or on a whim. It's usually a series of decisions moving in the right direction, or in this case, in the wrong direction. And that's why all of us need wisdom. All of us need to figure out how to pay attention to what we're doing and to be very, very careful. Listen to this. Verse 22 says, "He followed her at once, like an ox going to the slaughter, or like a trapped stag awaiting the arrow that would pierce its heart. He was like a bird flying into a snare, little knowing it would cost him his life." Not every decision is that critical, but some in life, sometimes many in life, are that critical. And what steps are we taking to move in the right direction or to move in the wrong direction? And we need to back up and evaluate and apply the information we have appropriately so that we can be wise in everything that we do. I hope you'll keep hanging as we wise up together. I'll see you soon.